Hey, yo, what up, sluts? This is Taylor, and I'm doing a Would You Rather video because why the hell not? So if you guys enjoyed this, please feel free to leave a rating. And in addition to that, I've been uploading quite a few more videos than usual, so check the links in the description, and it'll take you there in case you've missed it, because as we know, YouTube tends to have a few problems. But anyway, before I fritter away any more of your valuable time on this wonderful Sunday afternoon, let's get to the questions. First, would you rather, and of course this is from yourather.com, would you rather have the ability to teleport or be able to time travel? Oh my god, is this obvious to anyone else? Nobody? Nobody? Nobody out there already knows the answer 100%. Usually I have to do a little bit of deliberation over this, but I instantly know the answer. Time travel. Now, if I can teleport, I can teleport somewhere else in the present time. So let's say I was going to be late for somewhere, and so I could just teleport immediately to my job or immediately to a date or something like that. Whereas if I have the ability to time travel, I could just go back in time, X amount of time, and then make it to that place on my own. Like, you just don't even need it. And you could also go way back in time and like put $1 million in a safe and then allow it to sit there for a while, or maybe like gold coins from Pirate Age and just hide it somewhere, and then the current era I could go back, get it, be a friggin' multimillionaire. I could go back, think of Playboy before Hugh Hefner did, bam, make that, and then I would be living in that mansion with all those sexy ladies. Infinite possibilities. Like, the coolest thing I could do with teleporting would be like maybe be really good in the UFC, like teleport up and you go, "Whatcha!" Just pop a guy right in the jaw and then teleport around. And I'm sure they wouldn't allow that because I'm pretty sure magic is one of the stipulations of things you can't bring into the octagon. I'm not sure though. Could be wrong on that. Maybe you should check the rule book. But time travel is obviously the better choice. Obviously. In addition to that, I mean, I assume that when I time travel, I stay in my current body and I don't, like, nothing changes with my aging. So, like, I could go back in time from my old 80-year-old self, and he could come tell me right now exactly what video I have to do to make it go viral or something like that. Like, I could go back in time to yesterday and try infinite videos until one of them went viral, and then go back in time again and tell the other guy, who was me in the past, which one was going to make it viral. So I guess that'd be kind of like a paradox, because if I made all those videos but eventually got the viral one, it would mean that I never made any of them, and so it's kind of, oh, dumb, my brain, too much thinking, I'm not even in school, what the hell are you guys doing to me? So, I'm going to pick time travel, because that's better, and, what? 48% of people said time travel, and 52% of people said teleport. Are you kidding me? Like, I make fun of people who choose differently than me in most of these scenarios, but seriously, are you that fucking stupid? Are you that daft that you can't even begin to see the potential for time travel over teleportation? Like, what are you going to do with teleportation? Impress a few friends? Win a few drinks at a bar? Maybe be like the best Marine to ever live or some shit? No. No, you probably won't end up doing anything like that. You're just going to be teleporting around because you're going to be too lazy to get off the couch, so you're just going to teleport over to grab your goddamn Coors Light out of the fridge. Whereas with time travel, I would change the course of history. Like, you know how usually, like, a scientist will come up in one field? No. Every single scientist to be like, yeah, Mercadurka was the best physicist in this era, also the best evolutionary biologist, also the best cognitive neuroscientist, and just every textbook for the next 200 years would just be written with everything about me in mind, because I would do everything with the ability to time travel, because I would just travel back in time, gank somebody else's work, maybe do a little bit of assassination here or there, and then just take all the credit myself. It's a really good deal. So 52% of you grow a brain, I suppose. Next one. Would you rather always look 8 months pregnant or always have a black eye? Well, once again, I am a man, and so looking 8 months pregnant would make it phenomenally difficult for me to get any action. So I'm going to have to go with black eye, also because it says down here that it doesn't mean I have to get hit over and over in the eye. It just says that I have the black mark around my eye, which for all they know, I have two options. I can either walk around with a black eye, which could make me look like a fighter or someone who's just always in a tussle, which would be pretty badass. People don't know what to assume when they see a black eye. Like, maybe they thought that I was just like a little bit of domestic abuse on behalf of my wife or something, but, you know, most likely they'd be like, oh shit, that guy's hardcore, he's got a black eye. Or I could go the pirate route and just wear an eye patch, and people wouldn't even have to see it, but they would also see me as like, oh shit, dude, that guy must have been in some serious tussles if he's got an eye patch on, because I don't know about you, but when I see an eye patch, I always assume the worst under there. Like, I always assume it's almost like that monster that comes out of Alien's mouth, that as soon as he moves it, it's gonna like pop out of there. So I'm gonna go black eye. Alright, 90% said black eye. This is a very bad would you rather question because it was so freaking easy. Alright, would you rather get hit by a bus or watch a loved one get hit by a bus? You know, it sounds bad, but I would rather watch a loved one get hit by a bus. I mean, as long as that loved one was like, maybe they had cancer and they were like on their last like 5 days of life and they were already miserable, and they just wheel themselves out there in the middle of traffic, get hit by a bus while I'm still here in my 21-year-old body. Like, you know, I don't want to go get hit by a bus. That would suck ass. Like, why would I go get hit instead of a super old relative that I love? You know, so obviously, that's either me being a complete narcissist rationalizing the murder or I guess not the murder, the death of someone else, or I'm just a bad person. Really, 21% said they'd rather watch a loved one get hit by a bus, and 79% of people are bold-faced internet liars. Really, 79% of you, are you really going to take that route? Are you really going to say that if your decrepit 98-year-old great-grandmother was sitting there with her walker, barely able to move, had cataracts in her eyes, can't see shit, and she was like, I'm going to go get hit by that bus so you don't have to, little Timmy, and you and your, like, I don't know, 15, 16-year-old body are like, no, Grandma, I couldn't bear to watch. I'm going to go piss away the rest of my life so you can enjoy the next 7 hours of freaking Murder, She Wrote and then die in your sleep. Like, no, that's retarded. You are dumb, people. You are dumb. You should have seen the loopholes. Alright, would you rather take a suppository of vitamins daily or take a syringe of vitamins daily? You know, I really hate needles a lot, but I also don't like things going in my butthole, so you have to weigh out the hate there, and I'm thinking that I hate needles a lot less, and also people wouldn't know what I was doing with the syringe, and so I could like pretend like I was shooting up on like public transit and places like that and just scare the shit out of people, like have one of those little rubber surgical tubes tied around the top of my arm and then like pretend like I'm just high as a kite on heroin sitting there. Maybe it'd be a good time, lots of pranks, lots of fun to be had, so I'm gonna go with syringe. But, I mean, if there were an option that said, you know, would you rather just not take vitamins and be a little bit less healthy, I would take that one. 54% said take a syringe, good for them, and 46%, I guess, really hate needles. Wow, can't imagine them hating that much. Would you rather shotgun a beer or funnel a beer? For those of you who don't know, shotgunning a beer is when you crack open the tab on the beer and then you use a knife or a keys or something to stab a hole in the bottom of it, and it creates kind of like the airflow chamber. It's a lot of science in there, and so you can drink it very quickly and you don't get air bubbles in the middle of it. And funneling it is when, obviously, it's a beer bong. It's where you pour the beer into the funnel and there's a little plastic tube and you drink it through there. Once again, because it's much easier and faster to drink it that way. I'm going to go with shotgun just because if you're shotgunning a beer, you know that nobody else has ever shotgunned that beer because it's clearly still unopened, you know? Whereas with a beer bong, or a beer funnel, whatever you call it in your area, it's really gross because you don't know what kind of nasty people have had their mouth and their slobber all over the bottom of that tube. It's really kind of gross. So I'm going to go with shotgun just because I'm not a germaphobe or anything, but I see no reason to just put myself in a situation where it's like, oh yeah, I could do this option, which is basically the same as that option, but this option, there were 15 dudes' mouths on that, like, in the last 10 minutes, so I'm going to go with shotgun. All right, that's pretty reasonable. 59% said shotgun. I can understand people who said funnel just because it is more fun, because it's cool and it looks, you know, strange. And maybe if I were the first person of the night, I would do that instead. But I'm gonna stick with a good old shotgun. All right, would you rather? And this will be the last one. Never smoke weed or smoke weed every day. Every day. This is interesting. Usually. You know, I have no qualms with marijuana and people who choose to smoke marijuana. The only thing that kind of makes me frustrated are the people who pretend like marijuana is like this miracle drug that has no downsides whatsoever, and they'll be like, oh yeah, if you're an alcoholic, that's terrible, but if you're a pothead who sits around and smokes all day, that's good to go, haha, we can all just make jokes and just have a good time being high, which, like, you know, that's really not what it's like. It makes you complacent, it helps you just be okay with being bored, and it makes you a little bit lazier because it does. I'm not necessarily saying that if you smoke weed it makes you lazy. I'm saying it makes it easier to be lazy. It makes your mind in a state where you're fine with being lazy and just, you know, not starting up any new hobbies or learning a new task or something. So I'm gonna go with never smoke weed just because, I mean, clearly that's the better option because smoking weed every day, even if you take out of account the fact that it would make you, you know, your entire mindset towards life change, it would also be crazy expensive. You know, you can't be doing that. I would much rather save my money, take it out, be dropping hundreds at the bar, getting the ladies, you know what I'm saying. So that's all I've got to say for now. I clicked never smoke weed. 70% said never smoke weed. 30% are diehard written in stone potheads, apparently, so that's fine. Good for them. Don't really care. But that's all I have to say for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a rating, and if you didn't, please yell at me angrily and tell me how my answers sucked. All right, love you.